Hi, I'm Tim Conrad, Information Officer with the Cariboo Regional District. I'm here with Natasha Brosnitsky, Information Officer with the BC Wildfire Service. And today, first off, we'll start off with a weather update.
Yeah, thanks, Tim. So today we are going to see increasing clouds through the afternoon and into tonight. We are expecting gusty winds in the Chilcotin, which may cause an increase in the visible smoke on the Clean fire. Overnight winds are going to be generally light, so that's always good news for us. Looking into tomorrow, it is possible that we're going to start to see traces of rain as soon as tomorrow, and then by Sunday we are expecting to see scattered showers. We're still not sure of the amounts, the exact locations of where the rain's going to fall, so we'll have to wait and see. There is also a risk of thunder showers on Sunday, so we're certainly going to be watching out for any new lightning-caused fires. And we are also expecting to see gusty winds, particularly in the southern part of the fire center on Sunday. By Monday, we may continue to see scattered showers and also the possibility of snow in some of the higher elevation locations. So certainly getting into the fall here.
And it's a good thing to see some snow. That helps just as much as the rain does. So,
yeah.
Some really good news for the first time. This map tomorrow at 2 p.m. on Saturday at 2 p.m. Will not have an evacuation order anywhere on it. So the Highway 24 corridor evacuation order will be lifted at 2 p.m. on Saturday, and so that order will go down to an alert for there, and then we just have the NASCO alert still in place. On that note, a little bit of an update on the Elephant Hill fire.
Sure, so Elephant Hill has seen no recent growth lately. We're sitting at 60% contained, so some good progress there. Crews are continuing to make good progress on the fire, especially with the cooler weather and wetter conditions they've seen there lately. The fire did receive about 10 to 15 millimeters of rain in the Sheridan Lake area yesterday, so some good news there. Crews have found areas of heat in the Pressy Lake area, so that is an area of focus for work today, mop up in that area, looking for hot spots. And in general, most of the work that wildland firefighters are doing on this fire at this point is mop up and patrol activities, particularly along the perimeter and in the areas with structures. Just a bit of a reminder that the area restriction, although it's great news that the orders have changed in this area, great news there, the area restriction put on by the BC Wildfire Service remains in place on the Elephant Hill fire. And this is in place because it is still an active fire and we still have quite a lot of work going on this fire. It's in place in the interest of public safety and in the interest of allowing crews to work effectively there. And just to note that checkpoints and patrols will still be in place in this area given that access is limited due to the area restriction. And for the full details on exactly what's allowed and what's not allowed with the area restriction, go to gov.bc.ca/wildfire bans and select the Kamloops Fire Center for information on the Elephant Hill wildfire, as it's still being managed by the Kamloops Fire Center.
Okay, excellent. So, and you brought some props with you today to show us what mop-up is and tell us a little bit more about it. So.
Yeah, so I just wanted to talk a little bit about mop-up today because it is a lot of the work that's being done right now at this time of the year. So it just refers to crews basically seeking and destroying remaining hotspots on the fire. So when we start suppression work, we do always start from the perimeter in so that we can contain the fire. So crews may be working on mop-up activities on the perimeter, or they may be working farther into the fire if the perimeter work has already been completed. Depending on the fire, crews may be identifying areas of heat based on their knowledge of the fuel type, the topography of the area, and their knowledge of the fire behavior when the fire burned through, where it burned hotter or cooler. And so that can be one way they kind of target the areas where they'll look for hotspots first. But another great tool we have is infrared aerial scans conducted out of helicopters, fixed wing aircrafts, or drones. And this, like we've talked about before, is basically just a way that our crews can be more effective in their efforts on the ground. So in the coolest parts of the day, we'll send up an aircraft, they will scan the area, and they'll find the areas of heat, and they will tag those areas with GPS points. The GPS points can then be given directly to the crews that are going to be on the ground that day, and they can go straight to the areas of heat from the results of the scan instead of having to look for the areas of heat first. Just makes their work more effective and efficient. Mop-up in general is of course easiest to do when we still have our normal water delivery systems in place, so pumps at a water site, hoses leading into the fire, and then smaller hoses that the crews are working off of from the larger hose. Certainly the easiest way to do it. However, those hose systems aren't always still in place by the time mop-up's occurring, depending on the fire and depending on what areas most work is being done in. So another way that the crews can conduct mop-up is by using a backpack pump. So that's one of the things I brought today. I won't pump it because there's still a little bit of water in it, but essentially someone will put this on their back. It'll be full of water, so it's certainly quite heavy when it's full. Once it's on their back, they will, basically it's just a hand action pump, and they will pump water in the areas it's needed. So that just allows crews to have a mobile water source with them and use it to extinguish areas of heat. Crews will often work in pairs when they're doing this kind of work, whether it's with the backpack pump or with the normal hose water delivery systems. And one person will often be sort of on the water delivery, either carrying the backpack pump or holding the hose, and the other person will be working with a hand tool alongside them. So one person's hosing, the other person will be using a hand tool such as a Pulaski like Tim is holding now. And this is essentially so that crews can get the water mixed into the lower areas beneath the soil where there's still going to be burning organic material such as roots. The sharp end of the Pulaski is of course really good for cutting into tree roots that are burning, breaking up larger pieces of fuel, and the blunt end is good for digging and getting down into the soil and making sure that there's no remaining areas with burning organic material essentially left in the ground. Mop-up is as much about digging and getting into the soil with hand tools as it is about water delivery. It's not going to be very useful if you're just standing there with a hose. So you really have to be doing some hard work with the hand tool. The last thing I just wanted to touch on today is that we have been noticing in a number of areas that grass cure is starting to happen. So this essentially just refers to the summer grass is grown, it's green in the summer, and then we get into the fall and it starts to die and turn yellow and brown and die. And it becomes more flammable, of course, when it cures. So we are looking ahead to hopefully what will not be a busy grass fire season, but we are getting into our fall grass season period. So we just want to remind everyone to please take extra care in areas with cured grass and to not start any human-caused fires.
So the last note that I have is that our information line will be going down to reduced hours from 9 to 4 starting on Monday, and they'll also be closed over lunch from 12 till 1. So essentially running from 9 until 12 and then 1 until 4 for the information line. And we will continue doing these videos if necessary. So if we don't have relevant information to give you at the time, we won't be doing a video. So we will do a video as required next week. Thanks for joining us today. Thank you very much, Natasha.